Jose Mourinho has spoken about a player Celtic are trying to sign this summer, and his words are very interesting. We have also got a German club entering the race for a goalkeeper target, a brilliant moment for a former Celtic defender at the World Cup, a current star opening up about the preseason trip to Ireland, and another Celtic player dealing with a travel nightmare after his World Cup ended. Big morning. Let's get into it. But first, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel for more Celtic content. Alistair Johnston's World Cup adventure is over, but his trip home has turned into a complete nightmare, and he has shared every painful detail with his followers on social media. Canada were eliminated on Saturday after a 3-0 defeat to Morocco in the round of 16. Despite the result, it was still a historic tournament for the country. They reached the knockout stages for the very first time, and Johnston was a massive part of that run. He played every single minute of Canada's 5 matches and was one of their standout performers throughout, earning a place in Transfermarkt's team of the group stage. So far, so good. Then came the journey home. Johnston posted on social media to reveal that the airline had lost his luggage, and somehow he had ended up in completely the wrong city. He said, "Learned my lesson today. Never fly Frontier even if it's the only direct flight available. Genuinely look for multi-stop red-eye flights before flying with them. I'm still not sure where my bags are and I'm in the wrong city somehow." A brilliant World Cup finished off with a travel disaster. Only football. Once the chaos is sorted, Johnston is expected to be given an extended break before returning to Lennoxtown in mid-July. He will come back to a Celtic side that has already started pre-season in Dublin, and his displays at the World Cup will only have added to the attention on him. Strong international tournaments tend to attract fresh transfer interest. Celtic supporters will be keeping a close eye on that situation over the coming weeks. Now, for the main story, as Jose Mourinho's assessment of Celtic transfer target, Alfie Divine has resurfaced at a very interesting time, adding more fuel to what is quickly becoming one of the more exciting potential signings of the summer. Divine is a 21-year-old midfielder from Tottenham who spent last season on loan at Preston North End in the Championship. He impressed throughout that spell, though Preston ultimately did not trigger their option to sign him permanently. Celtic have been linked with a move, and talks are understood to be ongoing. What makes this story more interesting is what Mourinho said about the player back in January 2021, when Divine made history as the youngest player ever to represent Tottenham's senior side at just 16 years and 163 days old. It was Mourinho who handed him that debut, and the manager was extremely positive about what he had seen. Mourinho said at the time, "He's a kid with good potential that came to the club only this summer. He was lucky enough to have pre-season with us, because we were short of players, so he had pre-season with us and played a few friendlies. He's a kid that basically is a midfield player, but with an instinct to appear in finishing zones and to score goals. We like him, and of course for him today is a special day." Mourinho also made clear he wanted to protect Divine from the attention that followed. He said, "When you reach that high moment now, it's time to go back to where he belongs, and it's time to calm down because there are lots of lights on him. This is the moment to calm down and go back to the academy. I don't want to see him for maybe 1 or 2 weeks. Let him be there." 5 years on, Divine has the senior experience to match his potential. At 21, he fits exactly the kind of profile Celtic should be targeting. Reports suggest Tottenham could be open to a permanent sale in the £4 to £6 million range. Celtic are also reportedly likely to lose both Arne Engels and Reo Hatate this summer, which makes bringing in midfield reinforcements even more urgent. If Divine arrives, he lands in a squad that will need him quickly. With Mourinho, now back at Real Madrid, having identified him as one to watch 5 years ago, the endorsement does not hurt. In other news, the race for goalkeeper Tjark Ernst has heated up this morning after it emerged that Bundesliga side Borussia Mönchengladbach have entered the picture. Ernst is a 22-year-old who plays for Hertha Berlin, and he has been linked with Celtic in recent days. He kept 11 clean sheets in 33 league appearances last season in the German second division, and with just a year remaining on his contract, clubs across Europe have started circling. Feyenoord were already known to be interested, and Gladbach now become the latest name added to the mix, according to German outlet Bild. The situation that makes this interesting for Celtic is the reported release clause in his contract. Ernst is said to have a €5 million clause available to clubs competing in European football, which would place Celtic among those eligible to trigger it if they decide to move. There is no suggestion Celtic have made an offer or activated that clause at this stage. The article makes clear this is still firmly at the monitoring stage rather than an imminent deal. Ernst also did not feature in Hertha's pre-season fixture over the weekend, though that alone does not necessarily mean anything significant is happening. What is clear is that the longer Celtic wait, the more competition there will be. With Gladbach from the Bundesliga and Feyenoord from the Eredivisie both tracking the situation, any club that wants Ernst will need to move with purpose. Celtic's goalkeeper position has been a topic of discussion throughout the summer. Whether Ernst becomes the answer remains to be seen. In other news, Luke McCowan has spoken about what it means to be part of Celtic's pre-season trip to Ireland, describing the experience as something special. Celtic arrived in Dublin today ahead of their first pre-season fixture tomorrow night against Shelbourne at Tolka Park. The match kicks off at 6 p.m. and will be shown on Premier Sports. Several first-team players made the trip, including Callum McGregor and Arne Engels, and McCowan was among those who attended a Malahide Celtic Supporters Club event before the game, where the league trophy was on display for fans. McCowan said, "It's nice to see the green, white and gold on every flag that you see. It makes it kind of special being here, being part of this special football club. It's been a real pleasure to be a part of. It is a short but warm sentiment, and it comes from a player who has quietly become one of the more reliable figures in this squad. McCowan was a consistent presence last season during the title run-in, and his attitude has never been in question. The Shelbourne match is the first of several pre-season tests. Celtic then travel to Lisbon to face Sporting CP on the 14th of July, before two home games at Celtic Park against Middlesbrough and AC Milan. A full and demanding pre-season schedule, with competitive football coming around quickly after that. There is still no confirmed signing for Celtic this window, although a deal for Colombian striker Camilo Duran is reportedly very close, with his agent having been in Glasgow at the weekend. Lastly, former Celtic defender Christopher Ayer has helped Norway reach the World Cup quarter-finals for the first time in history, and it is a remarkable moment for both the player and the country. Ayer spent 5 years at Celtic, making 176 appearances, winning 9 trophies, and establishing himself as one of the best defenders in the club's recent history before joining Brentford in July 2021. He is now 28 and has become a regular in the Premier League, and he is enjoying the biggest moment of his international career. Norway had already done something extraordinary simply by qualifying for the tournament, reaching the World Cup for the first time since France, 1998. They did not stop there. After finishing second in their group behind France, they beat Côte d'Ivoire in the round of 32 before pulling off a stunning 2-1 victory over Brazil, the 5-time world champions, to reach the last 8. That's all the latest Celtic news for today. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and drop a comment below with your thoughts. I'll see you in the next one. Hail, hail.